Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy. I'm just coming out of my Thanksgiving coma here in the United States. We're very grateful. It's a wonderful family celebration, but boy, I think we eat too much anyway. Today is Sunday. I'm recording this on Sunday, December 1st. I cannot believe it's December. But what I want to talk about today, we've kind of hit on it, and we got into it last week when we talked about the event that was coming and how the event was actually something internal, where the change would actually be transformational and instantaneous and then reflected more on the outside. We tend to focus on the outside. But I read a very lengthy Metatron Channeling the other day, which I've linked here. And I've sort of done a Cliff Notes version of one part of it to extrapolate what I wanted to say so we can talk about it today, because I think I'm going to try to make it as short as I can, because I have a really good way for you to shift some things as we're closing in on the event and the change within. Of course, and so here's the piece from Metatron that I've kind of rearranged. Both positive and negative attitudes, whether projected consciously or unconsciously, form your experiential reality. Okay, we know this, right? Thus, destructive thoughts projected from your inner beliefs must be redirected consciously into constructive patterns. This takes commitment and effort. In other words, this is something you really have to think about. You can't just rely on your spiritual goodness to take you there. It's work. You're here to learn responsible creation. And when you master this, your pathway is no longer a drama-filled and often painful conundrum, but a clear pathway to joy. And I feel that I need to share this. I have before, but in a more poignant way right now, because, yeah, we all know our thoughts and feelings create our reality, and yet we do not all take enough responsibility for reprogramming and restructuring when we are having destructive thoughts and continued with destructive patterns. We talked about the shadow patterns. We've talked about all of this. But I want to give you a very clear-cut, short, sweet way to redirect these patterns. And the first step is I find a lot of light workers get hung up here, is to admit you have them. You can't just cover them over with love and light. They run in the background if you don't allow them to come up consciously. And when they can come up consciously, then you have the opportunity to create responsibly, because you can redirect them. So here's a short and quick exercise. You have a thought. It creates a feeling. You are responsible right there to determine if this conscious thought is constructive and helpful to the new reality you are creating, because they're not all that way. And if it is a thought you really need to reprogram, here's how you do it. You have the thought, you have the feeling. The feeling, as you know, activates the hypothalamus, which is the master gland that releases what's known as the emotional chemicals or the neuropeptides into your bloodstream. So that energy of the feeling is what the hypothalamus charges these neuropeptides with. And that feeling goes through your entire bloodstream to every cell in your body, and it attaches itself to the DNA programming where it's used to going. You know how when you drive to work one day and you don't even remember how you got there? Well, that's what these guys are doing. So the minute you have the feeling and you realize the thought and the feeling are not creating what you want to in the new reality, that's your power place. And here's how I do it. I do it quickly and silently, pretty instantaneously now, but to begin with, I cross my hands over my heart, the generator Ezekiel always talks about with your emotions, and I breathe them in, and I thank them for giving me this opportunity to make a change, to actually reprogram my own DNA consciously the way I want it to be. And I redirect with my thought, and then the feeling shifted, and I redirect it to my DNA, and I imagine it lighting up a whole new, or one that's been closed, a whole new strand, let's say, or point on the strand of DNA. It lights it up, and it goes directly there, and it lights it up, and I am going to react to my new conscious good pattern instead of my old one. It might take a time or two to do it, and let me give you a quick example. Okay, the phone rings, and I see on the caller ID, this is a friend, but I'm having negative feelings toward the friend, and they've been running in my head, and here she is on the phone. My old thought pattern, when it ignites my hypothalamus, goes through my blood, my pattern is, not now. I'm going to deal with her. Plain and simple. Okay, now I have an opportunity. When I see her on the caller ID and I have that feeling and I go, I stop right there and I go, now wait a minute. Is this the reality I want to create? No, because I haven't changed my feeling toward her, so I'm going to keep creating an uncomfortable situation with this person. So right then and there, I take a deep breath. I put my hands over my heart. I thank these feelings of negativity or not nice feelings I was having about this person, and I consciously redirect them. Doesn't mean I have to pick up the phone, doesn't mean I have to answer it, but it means I have to see her name and feel good, because that's redirecting the pattern, and that allows everything to shift. You can do it with your significant other, your partner, your children. Give it a try this week, consciously redirecting these, and then your subconscious ones, the ones you're not aware of, will have an opportunity to surface for correction. We need to take responsibility now as this event is approaching, to use all of our emotional energy constructively, and all our thoughts, which are creating this energy, constructively. So you can do it, commit to it, take responsibility for it, make it happen in your own life, and, catch the magic, because this is really great. Still doing the free mini sessions. I have a holiday session special that's really great if you're interested in doing some longer sessions and more work. So you can take advantage of that. We've got dolphins in Egypt and Sedona coming up. So check out my website, and I'll see you again next week. Happy December, everyone. Moving right along here. Take care of who you are. Bye-bye.